it was uncomfortable for me to like get a camera and record myself. So I was like, I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna attach some like a little, maybe a montage or like a little few clips of my first YouTube video. I was like over 10. Like I've been doing YouTube since I was like a young fucking child.
Hello. So what is?
And like, again, I wasn't consistent with it. I have 2,600 subs on one of my channels because like for a while I was actually for like 6 or 7 months, maybe even a year, I was consistently outputting Minecraft videos, and I was getting consistently like a few thousand views, good likes, people actually, I was getting good engagement, people were actually like getting to know my name and stuff like that, and then I just stopped because I don't know, school got too busy. But like if I kept that going. Like from then to now, I'd probably have 100k, maybe 100k plus subs, like
maybe more.
Like fuck.
But from my perspective, like it was you and Max doing them YouTube videos, and I wanted to do it. It's I didn't have the big enough desire to actually go out of my way to do it, and I made one video. If you saw it, the one where I'm sitting.
Can't even remember, bro. If you did.
Well, we'll put it as well, but it's me sitting there on that little Acer like mini laptop, and you can hear like this buzzing, and it's me like 9 a.m. in the morning, like tired. I'm like, oh yeah, hey, I want to make videos, and and then I did a bro
like that as a video. When you like, another thing, tip number 2, where I don't know, we should like make like a little list that like builds as the video goes on. Number 2. Do not give a shit what anyone thinks when you're pursuing a business idea or.
No, but there's the 5-year thing. But sometimes when I get discouraged from doing something, I think of 5 years time, if I keep consistent with it, what would it look like? Yeah. Even if it's just like 10k followers or whatever, like on my social media page.
That's a dream, man. If I had even 10,000 subscribers, like that would give me the motivation to just keep going. Like you know what I mean?
10,000 people who follow you.
Like
10,000 potential customers.
I fucking wish.
Yeah.
But like talking about like looking back 5 years, like 2 years ago, I was like pretty consistently like journaling.
Yeah.
And I was reading pages of like my mindset and what I was going through back then 2 years ago, and I read it, and it's like I've changed remarkably in the past 2 years, and like it really, like people say it's not writing that benefits you, it's reading back when like you're at a different stage in life, and just like contrasting, comparing like what I was thinking, who I was, what I was like, what my habits were back then. Like I've changed, probably in a worse way.
In a worse way?
In certain aspects, yeah.
So
like there's certain things I won't talk about now, but like there's some things like I've changed in a certain direction which I'm not happy with, and reading back has like humbled me.
Yeah, but do you think that's like that comes with changing in the better way?
Yeah, of course.
You spend more time focusing on like making money and whatnot.
Yeah.
And obviously like you lose time in other aspects of your life.
I think it's just the day and age, like it's gotten so shitty, like the whole misogyny and men and all this rubbish. Like I don't know, I think it's tainted me a bit, not gonna lie. But again, reading back has made me reflect, and like I'm being more strict on like how I behave, and like I'm just really glad that I was writing what I was writing 2 years ago, and now I can read back on it. It's just
see,
it's really beneficial. Like
I'm in a similar situation where it's like a few years ago, or like whatever, when I was learning all the things I know now, it's like I knew what to do, but I never put it into action. So like I'd start journaling because you recommended it to me.
Yeah.
I started journaling, and I don't know, like 3 days in, I just quit. Like I just stopped because I knew it would help me, but I wanted the results to be like, and that's another thing about consistency.
Consistency, man.
Yeah.
Like that, I think it's like a Japanese proverb. Is that even the right way to say it? It's like, I'm not even gonna attempt to paraphrase.
Attempt it.
I'm not. Okay, but whatever. Yeah. So it goes like, You shouldn't attempt, like, you shouldn't make massive changes. The best way to change is like incremental change, like being 1% better day after day after day, and it's like you'll never see the change tomorrow. If you started yesterday, it's 10 months of gradual and consistent change, and then when you look back, then the change is gigantic.
It's like going to the gym.
Yeah, like nothing's instant.
Yeah, you're pumping iron.
Yeah.
One day later, you don't see any gains. 10 months later, you'll be a completely different person.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
Consistency, fuckers.
I mean, that's it.
That's the way. I don't know, man. It's like I actually seen this video. It was really funny. It was Andrew Tate, right? Whatever. Like he just put out a video which was really motivating. I might attach it to it.
W. Andrew Tate.
W. Anyways, he was like, the world's pretty fair. He's like, if you get up early, you work hard, and you keep at it, the world will give you what you want. It's so simple. Yet people fuck it up. They're like, oh, why can't I get it? This is like, the world works in a very particular way, and if you do those particular things, you're gonna get what you want.
I also heard him say, like, people would say he's lucky, and he says, yeah, I am lucky. But that's because I've worked hard to be lucky.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Like, yeah, like you create your own luck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe in luck. Like, I didn't find all these random people to give me money out of sheer luck. They didn't just come to me. I had to bring them to me.
Yeah.
Like,
you did the work to create a situation, and then, I guess, that situation, like, the chance of you getting, like, paid was...
Yeah, like, me, personally, I just believe in... Well, there's a little bit of luck. Like, there's some things that, like, the probability of it happening is so small that, like, it forces you to believe that, like, damn, I'm lucky, right? But then on the other hand, you create your own luck in the sense that the more you output videos, there's more of a chance people seeing it, and the more of a chance people seeing it, the more of a chance they're gonna contact you. It's all just percentages and probabilities.
Plus,
like that's
like, just making videos, and like at first nobody sees it, but you watch over it and you know where to improve on.
Yeah.
Like that's the main thing.
Like, another thing that I would recommend people if you're starting a business is give away free shit. When I started off remapping, I think I was doing €100 remaps for €100. By the way, that's 3 times lower than the average market value of what remaps cost. It's about, you could safely say that a remap is about €250 to €300. So people were like, oh, this new guy, he had no one's been done, like no one's had remaps by him, but he's 3 times less than what this guy is saying. So people took a chance with me, and when you are giving away, they're either substantially, like you. So what I'm trying to get at is you have to provide an edge. If you're new and you're in a business and you're trying to start a business, you have to provide an edge, whether that be you're out competing them in what you're providing, which I couldn't really do. Like remapping is kind of it's either there's bad remaps, there's good remaps. Like you can't have a better remap than a good remap.
You only get better with time.
Well, it's not really better with time, but like I couldn't compete on that. Well, it's not like I couldn't compete. I was just providing good remaps. So then, what's the other thing I could provide? Okay, I drive to people rather than people driving to me. So that was another edge I provided. I was doing mobile service. So I was coming out to people's houses, driving to them, saving them the driving and all that sort of thing. And
Diesel
then
prices.
And well, all the prices. And then 2, I'm young, so I'm social. Like I'm on social media. I'm like social savvy, you could say, or whatever. Like all like people who are young growing up have like know how to use social media. And then 3 was price. If you're not providing an edge, why should they choose you? You know what I mean? Like,
I also vouch for the like give away free shit.
Yeah.
Because how I got my first client is because I saw an artist. I made him a completely free, like custom made post, whatever.
And then what happened when you did something for free?
His whole like crew contacted me. I'm making like this big piece with all the rappers. I'll shout them out. 24 Collective.
Nice.
If they see it out here, but yeah, they all got together, and at first I was like, I'll do it for free because like I'm not experienced. Like I can't guarantee.
They took a chance in you.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Like,
yeah,
I can't guarantee that like what I'm gonna output is gonna satisfy you.
yeah.
And they're like, no, we'll pay you. I'm like, okay, if you guys like when I finish this piece, I'll send you my PayPal and however much you think it's worth, you send it. You don't have to send anything at all. And I made €50. First time, but I mean, right now I need to figure out how to be more efficient with my work because I spent too long.
That only comes with time, though.
Yeah,
efficiency in what you're doing. Like I've been doing remapping now. I think I said like, well, I've been doing it for a lot longer, but like dealing with customers, I say like a year and a half, and only now I'm like just getting into like the groove of just being quick, doing things efficiently, asking the right questions. And then a whole nother topic, but we can talk about it now, is like once you start, like you haven't gone to this level yet, right? You haven't been doing it for that long though. Yeah. Is you will come across people who are gonna fuck you around, like. And what I mean by that is, example, I remapped the guy's car. He was happy with it. He wasn't happy with it. Right? Okay. First time I've been dealing with, actually, out of all the remaps I've done, I've only had one person who's done it, and this is this guy, right? And it turned out to be the most extreme case, which is crazy, right? It's okay, whatever. He doesn't like to remap. I drove down to him. There you go. There's another edge. Free drive out. Drove out to him. We adjusted the map. Oh, he's delighted. Oh, I love the map. Blah blah blah. Another day or two pass. Oh, I don't like it. Drive out to him again. By the way, this guy lives about 40 kilometers up, so I'm doing like 80-kilometer trips back and forth, but not charging him a single thing because I just wanted a good opinion of myself from him. And so I drive out to him, I adjust it again. Oh, you're not happy with the map. I just want my money back. I'm like, well, look, I've been running around for you to make this work for you. I was like, I have no problem continuing to work with you and to get the map right, but unfortunately, because of all the time I've invested and stuff, I can't give you a refund. And then he just switched. Oh, to this nice, lovely guy too. You're nasty, threatening with solicitors and law and all this rubbish. And I'm just like, okay, sue me. Like, you have to stand your ground. Like, you cannot fold if you show weakness. Like, this is a whole, like, this is like politics. This is just mind games and who's have the upper hand, and when you have the upper hand, taking advantage of it. And it ended up, he ended up using a friend of his to pretend to be a customer to get a remap. And I drove out to them, and they ended up stealing equipment off me. And
that's fucked.
Like, they were threatening to beat me up if I didn't get the money. I'm like, I had to just, be smart and keep calm and just say the right things. And just fucking think about that shit gets me up. But they basically said, oh, you're not getting this back unless you get the money. And I was just like, how do you expect me to make money without my equipment? I was just being completely rational, I was keeping cool. And it ended up being resolved in the end anyways, and I had the upper hand and blah blah blah. I ended up refunding him an agreed amount, which was not the full amount, but an agreed amount where...
I like the way you gave the refund.
Still gave him a refund, even though he robbed me.
Yeah, but the way you gave the refund.
Yeah, well...
I mean, you can get into the story later on, maybe in life,
Yeah,
but,
if people are interested in the story, maybe I'll talk about it.
Like you were saying with, like, dealing with, like, reckless clients, at the moment, I don't really have to worry about that because everything I do is online.
Yeah.
And that's my main goal, like...
but people can still get you online, bro.
Yeah,
don't
worry,
like, they'll always find a way.
My way of making sure that I don't get scammed is, like, whenever I finish a piece, I put, like, my labeling all over it, but it's, like, kind of, like, the opacity. I make it somewhat see-through, but it's, like, in the way of, like, actually having the whole piece. So when I send them it, I'd be like, send the money, I'd take that off.
Nice.
But
smart move, bro.
I feel like I'll come around that, because eventually, maybe in a few years' time, hopefully, I want to bring this to another level where I would love to host my own concerts.
That shit would be lit.
That, bro, like, but specifically, like,
imagine people paying you to use your platform to be exposed. Like, that's...
like, hosting a venue and, like, it wouldn't be like somebody like, I don't know, like Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi, like
Yeah.
people who have a name. It'd be specifically like people who want to show their talent and people who'd come with people who want to hear new music. And again, that's the end goal at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, if I reach that stage, free tickets for you, by the way.
Bro, it's not if, it's
I will.
when.
Yeah.
It's when.
When I reach that stage.
If you keep at where you're going,
Yeah.
You're only gonna go up.
Yeah.
You're only gonna progress. Like, that's the way it goes. Again, the world is fair. If you keep progressing, you will get to where you want to be.
Yeah, and like,
it's simple. Like,
sometimes when things don't work out, that's like the beauty of it not working out. Because if it happens now, it's better if it happening when you're younger rather than later. Because like, if everything falls apart when you're like, 30, you're not gonna sit there and cry because you're like, you have that experience of failing and like learning from your mistakes.
But I have to encourage people to start young. Like, there's people out there, like, you could see, like,
I'd say 20s,
and
early 20s,
even later, like you don't want to, like, people have this massive pressure, like, oh, I need to find out what I'm gonna do with my life, like, soon, like, and all this kind of thing.
I think experimenting young, like, not being afraid to try something new, because the only way I've got out, because this is coming from somebody who was like, oh yeah, I had no idea. Like, I heard all of you guys talking about doing this and doing that because you guys are so smart. I'm like, oh man, I don't know what I want to do, and I'm just sitting there. And then when I started experimenting and actually getting out there, even if this doesn't last, I have the experience of like trying something new, and I know if I try it, there's potential for results.
Yeah.
And this come from somebody who was afraid, like, not afraid, but like overthinking.
So what would you say to people watching if they're afraid to start? Like, what would you say to them?
See, I was always thinking of this question, like, oh, how would I tell myself back in the day to do it?
Yeah.
Because I watched so many like motivational videos on like Andrew Tate and like doing this, like Andrew Tate, like I'm not
gonna lie, he actually like.
Yeah, he motivates me.
He motivated me to start doing podcasts because it's undeniable that he's like getting his word out in like such a like crazy way. Like, I guarantee you, if you went to like any part of the world and asked them, like, do you know who Andrew Tate is? They're like, yeah. Like, he's everywhere.
Most parts of the world. But yeah, I don't know. For me, I guess I'd say something like, stop being a bitch, but like that's too like,
stop being a bitch.
Yeah, stop being a bitch. But like, because I'd say that to myself because I was like, oh, like, what if, like, when I was a kid, like, I was reading this book, right, How to Do the Work by Nicole Labor, and it's essentially like why you react in certain ways to certain things. So like, for me, it'd be like, I'd overthink doing something that would benefit me to the point, or like doing an assignment. I'd overthink doing it, and like, I'd be asking people how they did it to make sure that I'm doing it right.
Right. So you wanted...
Yeah. Essentially, it's all a form of like small, like mini PTSD. So it's like things that happen to you when you're younger, it affects you later on in life, but subconsciously, like, you don't realize that it's because of these. Like, for me, I realized when I was younger, I'd do like a word search for like primary school or whatever, and like, or like maths, I'd be doing math equations or whatever, and I wouldn't get the answer, and I'd be like asking my dad for help. And like, my parents are Eastern European, so like school wasn't the main priority, and like they tried to figure it out, and then they see me not getting the right answer, and they'd get pissed, like they start shouting. So I was like, I feel like later on in life it prevented me from like, I mean, not prevented me, like I'm doing things now that are out of my comfort zone, but like even like trusting myself and trusting in a potential result I could have. It's, I don't know, I lost my train of thought again because I started listening to my own voice. But
I'm not gonna lie, man, I was like focusing on your voice, but I wasn't listening. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, it's because of the reaction of my parents, why I was afraid to do certain things.
Same thing with me, kind of, in a way. Like, the way like I'm not gonna lie, like the way my dad reacts to me, to the things that I do sometimes, like has prevented me from even telling him what I'm doing because I'm afraid of like what he'll think or how he'll react. So I just keep things to myself, even when and if telling him might be beneficial to like what I'm trying to do. And I guess that's where the whole culture of like don't tell anybody what you're doing until like you've gotten to a certain stage, or until it's done, or until like to a certain stage.
Because then expectations are set, and like when you tell somebody's like, if you tell your dad something like, "Oh, I'm doing this," and like a week later he's gonna be like, "So how's it going?"
Like all this like this low level like shitting on type thing, like it's just it's so salty, man. Like sometimes like that's why like if you know me personally, that I'm like a very kind of closed person. Like I don't talk, like this guy right here, he's my friend. Like he's been friends with we've been friends. We've been friends for like 10 years plus, I say at this stage now. Yeah. So like this guy right here is my homie, and I tell him everything. Small circle. I have a very small circle, and I don't open my mouth to like pretty much anyone, and that's because of my upbringing. Like that's just how I am, and I think he's a bit of the same.
Yeah.
It's just mad. And then like I have some friends who are just super outgoing, and like that actually like it's kind of contagious. Like you kind of want to be like them, but then like my default is just low and quiet.
Like in college, like when I was younger, I'd interact with people, and I feel like I thought to myself that those people didn't want to be friends with me, so I figured out that like me approaching people would make me get more friends. So in college I seem more outgoing, but the information I give them about myself is very limited because I'm like, you know,